First of all, I'd like for us to begin with a sense of Capital Community College's historic location. At the end of 1999, the former G. Fox department store on Main Street was selected as the site for the new campus. The new campus, a key to downtown Hartford's revitalization, includes a $70 million top-to-bottom renovation of 300,000 square feet of space in the former retail building, a downtown landmark where generations of residents shopped and worked. Personally, I have no experience with this. I wasn't here in 1999. I wasn't even living in Connecticut. I was living in Singapore. I come from Southern California. I went to school graduate school in Minnesota. I lived for more than 10 years in Asia. And then I came to Hartford. And so let me just say that for those of you, or if you know people who found out about this grant and said, hey, why wasn't I included? I do a lot with this. It's because I was the one putting it together. That's the reason. I wanted to do this so I would learn about Hartford, so that we as a faculty would learn more about what we can do with Hartford. And so when I started investigating how we could connect, I didn't even have the experience of shopping at G. Fox, which many of you had that experience. I didn't have the experience of moving downtown here from the Woodland Street campus. So for me, all of this was new, and it was a work in progress. And as some of you know, it was an initiative, a grant proposal that I put together in 15 days, just before the deadline. So it was a ton of work. If you know of anyone who feels like, why was I left out, please let them know that's the reason, and I would love to connect with them. And I'm sure through this process, we will connect with a lot more people. But there was no intent to leave anyone out. And I think we've included quite a lot. It's quite an extensive project, but I also see it as a beginning. I see this as a start, and there's much more that we can do, and I think that we will do with it. So we begin with the idea of this place being a historic location. It's also a strategic location. As you can see, as written on the history on our website, the downtown Hartford is now an extended campus for thousands of students of all ages. Capital, centrally located and more accessible to residents, continues to educate a multicultural community of learners in an urban center of business, culture, and government. It's a strategic location, but and we are making wonderful connections, especially in the area of business, also in the area of government. The Humanities department, I think, and our department agrees that the culture part of it is our responsibility. Not that other departments don't teach culture, but it is our responsibility to produce well-rounded students, to give students the opportunity to connect with who they are as humans. And one thing that we discovered as a department together when we had our first retreat last year in the spring, just a few weeks before I started working on this grant at Winding Trails in Farmington, was that we as a department have not connected, we have not drawn these connections as well as we could do. We have, a number of us take our students to the Hartford stage, some of the art classes visit the Wadsworth Athenaeum, and I take my American literature class to the Mark Twain House, and there's not really a whole lot more that we saw ourselves doing, and yet as we talked about it in our retreat, we said, this is what we desire to do, so what can we do to do that? Well, first of all, we drafted at that retreat a vision statement that comes out of Capital's vision statement. Again, you see in the vision statement here for Capital this idea of culture that's a central part of the vision. Well, as a department, we came up with this vision. We crafted this together, and I'm very proud of this and of the work of the department. The Humanities department, comprising art, English, languages, music, and philosophy, and we do have history on board, Marcus, for this, serves to guide and educate students to reflect critically on the role of the humanities in their personal and professional growth. to connect students to the rich cultural mosaic of Hartford, the region, and the world, and to foster a vibrant environment of artistic and scholarly activities for the college and surrounding communities. With this vision statement ringing in my head, John McNamara sent me an email just after graduation in May saying, do you know that we are considered a Hispanic serving institution and are therefore eligible for certain types of grants from the National Endowment for the Humanities? And he highlighted one of them, and I looked at it and saw this, that the NEH Humanities initiatives are intended to strengthen and enrich humanities education and scholarship in institutions with high Hispanic enrollment. These grants may be used to enhance the humanities content of existing programs, develop new programs, or lay the foundation for more extensive endeavors in the future. So the dots came together really quickly, and I thought this might be something that we could do as a department. So I sent out a message to everyone in the department and said, what do you think? Are you, if we do something like this, it would be a couple of years of faculty development, some seminars. I don't know what it's going to look like yet, but are you in? And unanimously, everybody wrote back and said yes. And again, I'm very proud of this department. It's a growing department. We just have two new hires recently. We're very excited about them, and we're growing. We're going to be it's going to be an exciting adventure for all of us. And so everybody is on board with this. Everybody's excited about it. So what are the aims of the project? The aims are to redesign and enhance courses with new humanities content based on the theme of Hartford Heritage, to create multidisciplinary learning communities through faculty collaboration. Now, many of you may be unfamiliar with that term, learning communities, and basically what that is there are a variety of ways that we can link course content. We can link courses. So I'll just give you an example of something that might develop out of this project. We might have an English 101 writing course, composition course, connected with a history course, or an art course, or a music course, or maybe 3 courses connected. But just imagine 2 of them connected. You get a writing course and a history course, and the two professors develop a common theme based on Hartford, and a common set of assignments, and then they have the same group of students. So you have maybe 25 students total in both classes, and the classes are scheduled back to back, so you have a 3-hour block. With that, we could take our class to the old State House. We could take our class, we could hold class at the public library, the Wadsworth Athenaeum. We could hold class at the Harriet Beecher Stowe Center, the Mark Twain House. We could go out and not only see these places, but spend time there and have someone speak to us and really engage with what is there. And so there's just tremendous opportunities available for us. And the excitement of putting 2 courses together, I mean, it's something that is very stimulating for the professors. It's very stimulating for the students. It's an inquiry-based sort of learning, and this is one of the aims, one of the great aims of the main aims of the project. Thirdly, to engage students in a combination of Hartford's arts, letters, history, and ethnic immigrant communities, to establish relationships with local arts and cultural institutions to benefit our students. I see this as, or we see this as the beginning. We see this as the beginning of strengthening relationships and building relationships between our institutions. So how are we going to do this? We have designed 18 seminars over the next year and a half. First one is starting today. After this launch in the afternoon, we're going to have our first session taught by Jack Mino and Jim Dutcher, from Holyoke Community College, who are going to be teaching us about these types of courses, the learning communities. 13 of the seminars are on Hartford's heritage and located at local institutions and taught by local scholars. That's another thing I'm excited about, is the scholars that we have are from Trinity, St. Joseph's, CCSU, Hart School of Music. We've got people coming. We only have one person coming in from out of state, and I'm very excited about him. He comes from Albany, SUNY Albany, and Professor Cruz, and he's written about Hispanic and Latino communities in New England. But what's great about connecting with scholars from here is that these are people that we can continue to build relationships with and involve in our courses and maybe be involved in the things that they do. 5 of the seminars on linked course methodology, led by Jack Mino and his colleague from Holyoke Community College. So as you can see, the whole grant, which by the way is just under $100,000 a grant, so it's a sizable grant, it pays for faculty development. It pays for us to create courses and to enhance courses. So what are the expected outcomes? Through this, the students will win. That's the idea. The students will gain knowledge about the history and culture of Hartford. Very important aim or outcome. Students will gain a sense of belonging and commitment to Hartford. Many of these students are going to stay here and work here. Many of these students have grown up here. And I can't tell you how many times I take a class to the Hartford stage and I ask how many people have been to the Hartford stage before. And out of a class of 25 people, I get maybe 2 or 3 hands going up. That's it. You know, one of our great cultural institutions here, and many of these students have never set foot in it. Many of them have, and then I ask also, how many of you will be seeing a play for the first time? Or when I get in conversations with them, I find out that many of them haven't. Students will gain a sense of belonging and commitment to Hartford. Students will experience the vitality of arts and culture and will gain an appreciation for the role of arts and cultural institutions in society. We want to help these students to see the importance of what the cultural institutions, the museums, the special places of performing arts places and so forth, what vital role this plays in a community, and to give them a vision for it and make them patrons of the arts and to make arts a part of their lives. Students and faculty will experience and appreciate the richness of multidisciplinary inquiry, and I've already hit on that a little bit. It's exciting, it's infective, and so we're excited about that and looking forward to those outcomes. But there are also some residual outcomes. This is my last slide. Strengthened cohesiveness of the Humanities Department. How important it is for a group who are involved in the same endeavor to see eye to eye and to get to know each other even better. Enhancement of all courses taught by faculty participants with arts and cultural opportunities is not just the learning community new courses that we create. There may be some members of our faculty participant group who won't be doing that in the end. They might not create a learning community, but all of us will find ways or discover ways to connect our classrooms and to make Hartford part of our classrooms or an extension of our classrooms. The creation of an arts card for CCC students. This is something that we're working on. We would love to be able to give students access to your cultural institutions, those of you who are representatives of those here. To give students access that would make it easier for them to visit them and to enjoy them, and to not only in the class but even after, as they're students here, to continue going to these. Increased communication and cooperation between Capital Community College and Hartford arts and cultural institutions. And another one is, of course, more grant opportunities. I will be going to Washington, D.C. next week for a project directors meeting at the National Endowment for the Humanities. This is one of the key components of that meeting, is to find out how you can take a grant like this and build on it and get more grants and continue what we're doing. So again, I see this as a start, as this is the beginning. And we're very excited about it, and we want to thank everyone here for your participation and your involvement in this project.